Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Sandbox Love Podcast. My name is Aola Matty. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Let's get back into some playoff ball. As the first round comes to a close, we have a few teams on the brink of elimination. We're going to highlight and look at tonight's games, and then we're going to preview, last night's games and where they stand. Tonight is Cavs versus Heat. This is a potential sweep as the Cavs are up 3-0. The Heat have been dominated in all facets of the game. The Cavs have been getting what they want on the offensive end and the defensive end. Garland and Donovan Mitchell have been a pain in Tyler Hero's behind, causing him, to make turnovers, making him play extreme defense, locking him up as well. I don't know. What can the Heat do at this point, right? They're getting beat up inside as well. Bam is looking around for help as, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen are just having their way, grabbing rebounds, scoring inside. Kavar Ware is not he's not ready for this. This is his first playoff experience, and he's definitely getting bullied inside. So I think that series is gonna be a sweep, just like the OKC Grizzlies series. I think the Cavs get it done. They've been the second best team so far in the playoffs, behind OKC. So that doesn't change tonight. I think the Cavs win the series 4-0. On to the Rockets and Warriors series. This is the most interesting series, along with the Clippers Nuggets and the chippiest series. Both teams are playing hard. The Rockets are getting away with a lot of physicality. If you're watching Dylan Brooks, he is going after Steph Curry's wrist every time Steph Curry releases the basketball. All right? And I know, diehard Warrior fans have been noticing that as well. It's definitely getting chippy. But Kerr and the Golden State Warriors are showing the Houston Rockets that, hey, listen, like, you have to execute on the offensive end in the playoffs. You got to score some points, right? Especially in the half court. So, Steve Kerr now, he's rolling out different lineups. Gary Payton III is playing well defensively. Buddy Hield now, last game, he shot the ball really well. It seemed like he was locked in. So, I have the Warriors coming out in this series, but it's gonna be a close series, and it's definitely gonna be a physically draining series for the Warriors moving forward. But I predict them to win the series. Yesterday's games. Just watching that Milwaukee Indiana Pacers game, I feel bad for the Bucks, man. Like, I feel bad for Dame. First and foremost, like, he fought so hard to get back from the blood clot injury, and for him to come back now and then suffer a season-ending injury like that, it's heart wrenching. Speedy recovery to Dame. Um, Yeah, I just think that, when he went down with the blood clots, I think that should have been his season. He should have preserved him for next year. But he fought back, he came back, and, regardless of that, you know, uh, Tyrese Haliburton's been killing. He's been playing really well. He's not just passing the ball and getting his teammates involved. He's scoring the basketball, and he's showing everybody, like, listen, man, I got a bag myself. I can do some things on the offensive end myself, right? So when he hit, Bobby Portis last night with that step back three, that was a middle finger you three. That was like, yo, listen, man, I do this. Even if Dame was healthy and on the court, I'm doing this. So um, it's been a great series so far. Doc Rivers still hasn't adjusted. The only adjustment that he made that was good, I would say, was inserting Gary Trent Jr. into the lineup, and you see what he did. He went for 37, right? So I think that was a good adjustment, right? But besides that, Doc Rivers hasn't made a lot of adjustments, and I think the lack of adjustments is what's killing the Bucks right now, because the Bucks now, they're getting nothing out of Kuzma. They're getting nothing out of Bobby Portis for the most part. They're getting nothing out of Lopez twin. Like, it's just Giannis out there, man. So I think the Pacers win the series when they go back home to Indiana, and then it's a wrap. Piston Knicks. I love this. This is probably one of the grittiest series as well. Um, Pistons and Knicks. They've been going at it. The Knicks ended up winning both games in Detroit by combined 3 points. That should tell you something. The Knicks are not having their way, and you know what? I think the Pistons win the next game, especially after that non-call in the corner for the corner three for Tim Hardaway Jr. It was a non-call, and then a 2-minute report came out and said that the referees missed the call. I think that's going to be fuel for the fire for the Pistons. They're going to use that as motivation, and they're going to come out and like gangbusters. And I think they're going to win the next game. They're going to make the series more entertaining. And if the Knicks do win, it's going to be in 6, right? But it's going to be a hard-fought series. And, Detroit has nothing to be ashamed of. For the first time being in the playoffs in how many years? I want to maybe even say a decade. Them boys played hard, man. They're playing well. And Cade, he's showing you that he's going to be a superstar in this league, right? So I think if the Knicks do win, they're going to have to win on the road in Detroit. And, that's no easy task. We're going to move on to the Celtics Magic series. You know, shout out to the Magic. They've had a lot of injuries all year, and they've always had the next man up mantra. Jamal Mosley is coached up them boys over there, and now they're not a bottom basement team in the NBA no more. You have to respect that franchise. They have legit players now. Banchero and Franz are going to be future superstars in the NBA, and the Magic are going to have to figure out how they're going to keep those two, and then surround them now with top tier role players. But those two are studs, man. Those two are good to go for the next few years. And but as long as Jason Tatum's on the floor and he's playing maestro and he's controlling everything, it's a done deal. The Celtics are going to win the series. But shout out to the Orlando Magic for making it competitive at least. And last but not least, Clippers Nuggets. The series currently is 2-2. It's been hard fought. I think this is going to come down to the role players and the others. You already know what Joker's going to do. You know what playoff Kawhi is going to do. Harden has been here and there. He could have played better last game. Russell Westbrook was out last game with an injury. I'm not too sure if he's going to return for the rest of the series, but that's definitely going to be an interesting factor going into these last few games of the series. But I don't know. I don't know who to predict, coming out of that series. But I'll leave it up to you guys. At the end of the day, tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, share the content with a friend. Peace.